lesson, we're going to be using AutoCAD to construct the locator part. And so we want to make sure that we're using construction lines as shown when we turn in the project. So when I open up AutoCAD, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I have the startup command so I can choose either imperial or metric. So when I open up AutoCAD, I want to make sure I'm in feet and inches, which is imperial. Before I begin constructing lines, I'm going to make the snap settings at 1/2 an inch for the X and the Y, and I'm going to do the same for the grid at 0.5 for the X and the Y. The other thing I'd like to do here is in the object snap, go ahead and make sure I have my midpoint, endpoint, and center boxes selected. And I can always turn it on and off at the bottom by clicking on the icon for the snap and the grid. So they're both on right now. So I'm going to go ahead and make some new layers. So go ahead and type in layer. And if you hover over it, the new layer, it'll go ahead and tell you what it is. And go ahead and click on the icon. First thing I'm going to type in is construction. Now, construction is going to be the lines that I use to build the object. And second thing I'm going to do is go ahead and type in object. I'll hover over, go ahead and click new layer, and then I'll type in object. Now after I do this, I want to change the color. So go ahead and double click on the white icon, and I'm going to select the blue color. And select OK. Now it's kind of important to understand what layer I'm working in. So I want to make sure that my set current layer is the construction. I'm going to start out building construction lines. Construction lines are different than the object lines because they're used to measure and to build from. So this is the locator part, and I'm going to be making a drawing that has the top, front, and side view, similar to the outline you've seen here. This is a typical orthographic drawing. So I'll go to the Draw menu, and instead of using the Line tool, I'm going to select the construction line. And what I'll go ahead and do is it wants to know a point. And typically what I'll do here is I like to start off 0, 0. So select vertical, type in 0, 0, and push enter. And then push enter again. I'll do the same thing for the horizontal. So select the construction line and select horizontal. And then I'll also type in 0, 0 and press enter. And then I hit escape. Now, next thing I need to do is make more construction lines. And these are going to be 2.5 inches from the 0 going up and 5 inches going to the right on the vertical. So I'll do the exact same thing, but I'm going to, instead of typing in the construction line, I'm going to type in offset and press enter. And then I'm going to type in the distance. So going up, I'm going to type in 2.5, and then I'll go ahead and select the line. And you want to play around with this. If you move your mouse up, the line goes up. If you move your mouse down, it goes down. So make sure you type in offset, give the distance. And so you need to move the mouse up or down if you want to know where it's going, all right? So we'll type in offset here. The distance is 2.5. Push enter, and then select the object, and then move your mouse up, and then hit escape. Now I'm going to do the same thing again, but this time I have a different distance I want to go. So I'll go ahead and type in, I'm just reading from my drawing. This one is 1.5 inches, and then the following one will be 3. So I'll go ahead and type in 1.5, enter, select the second line, construction line, move my mouse up, click it, and push enter. And then I can either push enter again to activate the offset command, or I can type it in. And then in this case, I'm going to type in the distance. of 3 inches. All right, so those are my 4 horizontal lines, and now I'm going to do the same for my vertical lines. Under front view there, it's actually 5 inches. So we're seeing in that drawing the top, front, and side view. Type in offset, and in this case I'm going to type in 5. Push enter, select the line, and move it to the direction I want to go. And hit escape, push enter again. In this case, I'm going to type in 1.5, press enter, select my line, move my mouse to the right, hit escape, push enter, because that tool should still be activated. And then I'll go ahead and type in 3, push enter, select the line, and move my mouse to the right, and hit escape. Now I have created the primary construction lines, and it's always important to verify your dimensions here. So for this activity, we're actually just going to be dimensioning the construction line. Typically, you wouldn't do this, but for this exercise, it's important that these construction lines have been created the same. So what I'm doing is I'm just pressing enter after each sequence. All right, then hit escape. So far, so good. I'm not worried about the precision on this in terms of the 0.00. All right, so what I want to do here is make sure that this is in the construction. So I highlighted everything, I right-clicked, or I typed in properties, and where the layers, right now it's in the 0 layer, I want to move this to the construction line. All right, if you haven't done so already. And the nice thing about that is I can always turn it off if I need to, just to verify, just by turning that light bulb off, and it'll tell me that's the current layer. You sure? For this application, sure. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on, though, is what I'm going to want to do, because this is what I'm building everything around. But I am going to be working in objects, so that is now my active layer. And then the other thing we want to do is type in, select 50 millimeters. I'm actually going to do this for all the layers that I want to see, with the exception of the construction. And then I go to the right side of my menu bar and make sure it's activated. And then I'll do the same thing on the bottom ribbon and make sure that the line weight is also activated. All right. And now I'm going to start building the object. So the beautiful thing about this, because I have the construction line, all I have to do is simply follow over the lines that have already been made for me. So this is going to be my top view of the locator part. This is going to be the front view. And then on the right box will be the side view. And this way, everything's accurate. And so when you do a orthographic drawing, everything must line up. So all the lines must line up. That's why we're using construction lines. You can try it without construction lines, but I guarantee you it won't be accurate. And then you're also going to see this 45-degree angle in that top right box that we're also going to use. All right, so I'm going to add some more construction lines, and I'm going to do this based on my drawings that I have here. So I'm going to be referring back to my drawings. You should be doing the same of that three-dimensional part that you're drawing. So in this case, I'm going to be making some 1-inch lines. So I'm going to offset these construction lines up 1 inch, push enter again. I'm going to do the same thing. And so essentially what I'm doing is I'm looking at my drawing and I'm making the parts so that they're all going to be consistent in the top, front, and side views. And so you can see I'm adding the lines because this is in the object portion. It's got the proper line weight. And so what I'll be doing is the parts that I don't need, I'll just go ahead and type in trim. and that'll get rid of the parts that I don't need. And so you want to be looking at your drawing as you do this. And I'm going to be jockeying back and forth between the construction line and the object line and which is going where. So you can see that I've already gone ahead and started drawing this first side view projection of the part. All right, so we finished the first exercise.